Ramaswamy, who joins us now. Vivek, I guess the question is, can big tech companies crack down on something like this? And if so, how?
Yeah, so look, Ashley, this is a tragic event, and it's particularly wrenching now to know that the shooter was using Facebook to send these messages. That is chilling. At the same time, I think we have to be really careful about making bad knee-jerk policy decisions in response to a tragedy. In fact, history in our country teaches us that sometimes we make our worst policy judgments in response as a knee-jerk reaction to a tragedy. And I personally don't think the right answer is to go further in the direction of telling large technology companies to monitor private messages even further as a means of supposedly preventing crimes, akin to what Tom Cruise might have embodied in Minority Report. I think that that's not the society we want to live in, but we do want to find other ways of preventing crimes, of preventing the kinds of conditions that lead to crime. That's a complex and much more important discussion. But I'm worried that we're going to get to a surveillance state led by a corporatocracy as a response to this tragedy, when in fact, I don't think it could have been prevented anyway.
All right, let's switch gears if we can now to Elon Musk and Twitter. A new filing shows that Musk is now planning to front $33.5 billion of his own money. Do you think Musk is serious about buying Twitter despite his issues with the bots in particular?
Yeah, well, look, I think his issues with the bots were known long before he ever bought Twitter. In his original acquisition offer, the letter to acquire the company, he cited the bots as a problem. In his press release, in the joint press release announcing the acquisition of the company or the definitive agreement to acquire the company, he cited the bots as one of the problems he wanted to fix. So it was a little bit of a mystery that he brought up the bots as the reason why he didn't want to buy the company. Of course, if we're to see it for what it is and call it like we see it, it wasn't a reason. It was a justification, possibly to get a lower price, something that he's been talking more openly about recently. But at the end of the day, I think if Elon Musk is like many of us, he's probably had some swings in what his intentions are. I hope he follows through with the acquisition. I think today's news suggests that he remains serious and engaged on it. I think it'll be good for the country, for Twitter to be a private company in the hands of an owner that is committed to free speech, that I think has a great chance of making the company more commercially valuable. But I also think it'll be good for the country.
Well, it's fascinating to follow, that's for sure. Vivek, thank you so much, as always, for joining us this morning. We do